Yasu Malaka. Welcome to the Malaka podcast. Syvester Stallone. Oh, tell me you don't listen to that song and it just doesn't get you pumped. You just want to run a mile or I don't know. I mean, I just had some cake, so I'm good. But, for 2 seconds, it does inspire you. And that's kind of the point of Syvester Stallone, if you think about it. I mean, this guy kicks ass. One of the best action stars of all time. This man is 74, and he's still making movies, still killing it in all the roles he does. He's put out a couple clunkers, whatever. It is what it is. But he is one of the best action heroes of all time. And if you don't mind, I like to share with you my passion for Syvester Stallone, if you'll let me. The podcast is called the Malaka Podcast, but I'm still half Italian. And this man means a lot to me and my culture. And he's just awesome. He's just very inspirational. Everything from writing the first Rocky script himself and just killing it ever since. I mean, how can you not love this guy? He's awesome. Now all I want to do is go on the Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia, and just do a little bit of Stallone, if you don't mind. I'm going to stop there because I'm pretty positive he can still beat the shit out of me. So, here goes. Pretty positive. Hey, did you hear that motorcycle go by? Anyways, Syvester Enzo Stallone, born Michael Syvester Gardenzio Stallone, July 6th, 1946, is an American actor, director, screenwriter, and producer. After his beginnings as a struggling actor for a number of years, upon arriving to New York City in 1969, and later Hollywood in 1974, he won his first critical acclaim as an actor for his co-starring role as Stanley Rosiello in The Lords of Flatbush. Stallone mostly only found gradual work as an extra or side character in films with a sizable budget until he achieved his greatest critical and commercial success as an actor, starting in 1976 with his self-created role as the boxer Rocky Balboa in the first film of the successful Rocky series from 1976 to 2018. In the films, Rocky is portrayed as an underdog boxer that fights numerous brutal opponents and wins the World Heavyweight Championship twice. In 1977, Stallone was the third actor in cinema to be nominated for 2 Academy Awards for Best Original Screenplay and Best Actor. Stallone's film Rocky was inducted into the National Film Registry and had its props placed in the Smithsonian Museum. Stallone's use of the front entrance to the Philadelphia Museum of Art in the Rocky series led the arena to be nicknamed the Rocky Steps. Philadelphia has a statue of his character Rocky placed permanently near the museum, and he was voted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame. Let's just breathe all that in. Okay, so basically the whole script of Rocky, it basically describes his life. He struggled, here's a guy that just struggled all his life, and he finally made it. And as far as I know, Stallone was never an official boxer, but he's in the Boxing Hall of Fame. Like, that's how huge this movie was. And they still have the statue to this day. I've always said when I go to Philadelphia, I'm going to do three things. I'm going to have the best Philly cheesesteak of all time, which I have no idea which place that is. 2, I'm going to go to the Three Stooges Hall of Fame. And 3, I'm going to run up those steps. Until 1982, Stallone's films were not big box office successes, unless they were Rocky sequels. And none received the critical acclaim achieved with the first Rocky. This changed with the successful action film First Blood, in which he portrayed the PTSD-plagued soldier John Rambo. He would play the role in a total of 5 Rambo films, from 1982 to 2019. From the mid-1980s through the late 1990s, Stallone would go on to appear in a slew of commercially successful action films and became one of Hollywood's highest paid actors of that era. These include Cobra, Tango and Cash, Cliffhanger, Demolition Man, and The Specialist. Stallone saw a decline in popularity in the early 2000s, but rebounded back to prominence in 2006 with a 6th installment in the Rocky series, and 2008 with a 4th in the Rambo series. In the 2010s, Stallone launched the Expendable Films series, 2010 to 2014, in which he played the lead as a mercenary Barney Ross. In 2013, he starred in the successful Escape Plan and acted in its sequels. In 2015, Stallone returned to the Rocky series with Creed, that served as spin-off films focusing on Adonis Donnie Creed, played by Michael B. Jordan, the son of the ill-fated boxer Apollo Creed, to whom the long-retired Rocky is a mentor. Reprising the role brought Stallone praise, and his first Golden Globe Award for the first Creed, as well as a 3rd Oscar nomination, having been first nominated for the same role 40 years prior. So, after this huge career, and it's still going, by the way, still making movies. It all comes back 40 years later. He reboots the franchise Rocky. He becomes the mentor. It's beautiful. Like, it really is. I mean, like, how many people can say that? Like, 40 years later, you still continue that same franchise. Basically, him and James Bond, I guess. But it's just awesome just to see still do this, It's really cool, honestly. Like, I know nowadays you don't see many action films, and well, you do, but they're all green screen, whatever. And, I'm a 90s kid. My 3 fans know that. And, I just remember when shit was just blowing up all over the place, and, guys like him, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Bruce Willis, you just want to see these guys kick ass. And they just did. They just absolutely dominated. So, what I'd also like to talk to you guys about is some facts I found about Mr. Stallone. His parents are Frank Stallone Sr. and Jackie Stallone. Syvester is famous for his snarling look and slightly slurred speech, a result of complications his mother faced during his birth, as obstetricians had to use 2 pairs of forceps, which accidentally severed his facial nerve, causing paralysis in the lower left side of his face, including parts of his lip, tongue, and chin. So now we know there's a reason why he sounds like that. That sucks, but, the irony is at the same time, they kind of gave him that, distinct sound. That's Syvester Stallone. He sold his first script, Paradise Alley, for $100 to help correct his bankrupt bank account. You gotta do what you gotta do to stay afloat. Sylvester Gardenzio Stallone, named after his parental grandfather, and was nicknamed Sly Stallone. That's where he got the nickname Sly. He starred in the 2000 thriller Get Carter, a remake of a 1971 film of the same name, which starred Michael Caine. Not one of his best movies, but we'll get into that in a little bit. He says about his personality that I'm not handsome in any classical sense. The eyes droop, the mouth is crooked, the teeth aren't straight, the voice sounds like a mafioso pallbearer, but somehow it all works. Absolutely. One of the most memorable scenes of his career took place in Rocky III when Rocky fought Mr. T in a brutal boxing match. That is very true. We'll get to that in a little later. His second starring role was in Lords of Flatbush, like I mentioned before, for which he wrote the screenplay with Henry Winkler in 1974. Now, I didn't know that. If you don't know who Henry Winkler is, he played the Fonz. We all know who the Fonz is. Come on, get with it. He also played a number of supporting roles in Farewell, My Lovely, Capone, and Death Race 2000. And also made a number of guest appearances on the TV series Police Story and Kojak. He married Jennifer Flavin, a former American model, on the 17th of May in 1997 in a civil ceremony at the Dorchester Hotel in London, England, nearly 9 years after their first meeting at a Beverly Hills restaurant in 1988. The couple resides in the Los Angeles neighborhood of Beverly Crest with their 3 daughters, Sophia Rose, Sistine Rose, and Scarlett Rose. Sophia was born with a hole in her heart, which was cured, providing her to be a fighter, just like her famous dad. Man, that's crazy. I'm glad she's doing all right now. He had to spend most of his first 5 years in the care of foster homes, as his parents have constantly been on war and have largely ignored their children. Oh, jeez. That's crazy. Like, no wonder he's a fighter. Sly once said that his interest in acting came from his efforts to get the affection of those strangers who tried to raise him. Of course. I also heard a thing where one time he read like a comic book, and he got inspired by a lot of the people in these comic books, to get like big and strong, and that's what happens. I mean, let's be honest, guys. I mean, we don't have like a solid role model in your life. You look elsewhere, and you look for signs, and there you go. His father, Frank Stallone Sr., was an Italian-American hairdresser who built a chain of saloons. J. Frank's hairstylist, famous for his only book, Stuart Lane, published in May 2010. I did not know that. That's good. Free haircuts for life. Sly fell in love with his Pennsylvania actress, Sasha Czak, and married her on December 28, 1974. The couple moved to California to build their careers. His mother, Jackie Stallone, is an American astrologer, former dancer, and promoter of women's wrestling. Dang. So again, I mean, he's, maybe he was inspired by wrestlers too. I mean, you gotta be tough to be a wrestler, that's for sure. So he appeared in a movie named No Place to Hide in the 1970s, which was a recut and retitled as Rebel, featuring him as a star. This film was later re-edited and redubbed into an award-winning parody, A Man Called Rainbow. What? What? Rainbow, Rambo. Okay, all right. Directed by David Cassie and produced by Jeffrey Hilton in the 1990s. Huh. All right. He also starred in the erotic off-Broadway stage play Score, 23 performances at the Martinique Theater from October 28th to November 15th, 1971. This was later made into a film by Bradley Metzger. Syvester received an athletic scholarship for the American College of Switzerland following his graduation, where he even worked as a girls' athletic coach while studying. During his spare time, he starred in Death of a Salesman, Arthur Miller's school production, which inspired him to pursue a career in acting. Later, he studied drama at the University of Miami. There you go. That's awesome. I mean, I like hearing that. You know, you have one job and then boom, there you go. One inspires the other. The said film was later released as The Italian Stallion after he became famous action star through Rocky. The name The Italian Stallion is also from a line in the movie Rocky, of course. He auditioned frequently after moving to New York in 1969 while working a variety of jobs. He even resorted to starring a role in a softcore pornography feature film, The Party at Kitty and Studs, in 1970, for which he was paid $200. Now, we all know that story. Again, you gotta do what you gotta do. So Rocky had to stay rock hard for one picture. No big deal. Trust me, it all worked out in the end. During his childhood days, he had always dreamt of being a hero, and has even worn a superhero costume under his school uniform. He attended Notre Dame Academy and Lincoln High School in Philadelphia. Little Sly has once attempted to fly out of his bedroom too. Look up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Rocky Man. He said that he had done the film out of desperation. Of course, they're talking about the porno. After finding himself homeless for weeks, he said that he slept for nearly 3 weeks in the Port Authority bus terminal in New York City before he saw the casting notice for the film. It was either do that movie or rob someone, because I was at the end, the very end of my rope. You know, man, again, you do what you gotta do. I mean, you know, they say nobody judges you at the bus terminal. So, you don't gotta pay rent. He did what he had to do. In 1976, Sly gained worldwide fame with his starring role in the smash hit Rocky, an American sports drama film written by Syvester Stallone and directed by John G. Avildsen. The film was shot in just 28 days and was a sleeper hit that earned $225 million in global box office receipts. It was the highest-grossing film of 1976 and won 3 Oscars: Best Picture, Best Director, and Best Film Editing. In 1976, 225 mil. I mean, that's phenomenal. I mean, after that, he could just basically write his own paycheck. His parents filed for divorce in the year 1957 when Syvester was 9. He stayed with his father for a few years. He had even more traumatic teen years, with being expelled from nearly 14 schools for his behavior problems. Look, again, we're all not perfect. Sometimes we tend to lash out when we're a kid, when bad shit happens, and, he grew out of it. So, no worries. It is said that Sly saw the Muhammad Ali Chuck Wepner fight on March 24th, 1975, and took that as inspiration for the script of Rocky, of course. It took only 3 days for him to complete the script. He tried selling it to multiple studios, but finalized after a substantial budget cut, as he refused to sell it unless he played the lead role. So that you got to give him props for. I mean, he was so passionate about this role. Like, he just knew that he was the one that had to play it, and he stuck to his guns. So once again, I think it all worked out in the end. Before he made Rocky, he was so desperate for that he had to sell his pet dog for just $50. But within just a week, with the money that he got from the Rocky script, he got his pet back by paying $3,000. I sold my bull mastiff, Butkus, to a little person, Stallone said. You can't use the word dwarf anymore. Let's just say a little person. I tied my dog up at the store with a sign that said $100. I got $50 from this guy called Little Jimmy. When I sold the Rocky script, I went to see Little Jimmy and begged for my dog back. He lined up his children. Oh, my kids, love the dog, I said. You've only had him for a fucking week. He wanted to fight me, and I said he was gonna kill me. He was a crazy little person. I couldn't fight him. They arrest me, so I offered to pay double. Anyways, $3,000, and several threats later, Sly got his dog back. He moved to stay with his mother and her new husband when he was just 15 and was enrolled in Devereaux High School. He started lifting weights, practicing football, fencing, and discus. Sly ended up casting Little Jimmy in Rocky in his effort to get back his dog. Do you remember in Rocky where the little guy goes, "Hey, did you win?" And I go, "What are you, deaf?" And he goes, "No, I'm short." That's him. So it all worked out. In 1982, he launched his next major franchise success with the action war film First Blood, starring as a Vietnam veteran John Rambo, with sequels Rambo First Blood Part 2, which, by the way, might be one of the most confusing sequel titles of all time, and Rambo 3, following in 1985 and 1988, respectively. Following Rocky's success, Sly made his directorial debut in Paradise Alley. He also starred in Norman Jewison's Fist, F-I-S-T, in case you don't know how to spell it, a social drama. In 1979, he wrote and directed and starred in the Rocky sequel, Rocky 2, which grossed over $200 million. Rocky 3 in 1982, Rocky 4 in the year 1985, and Rocky 5 in 1990, garnering $270 million, $300 million, and $190 million, respectively, at the box office. Money, money, money. If it ain't broken, don't fix it. I will watch Rocky movies to the day I die. I just want to put that out there. I love him. I love him. I never get sick of him. Sly has starred as Rocky and Rambo in a total of 10 films, for which he had to undergo vigorous training, 2 workouts a day, 6 days a week, and has even met former Mr. Olympia, Franco Columbu, to develop his appearance. Sly and Sasha have 2 children, Sage Moonblood, born on May 5th, 1976, in Los Angeles, California, was an American actor, film director, film producer, and film distributor, and Sergio Stallone, who was diagnosed as autistic in 1982. This stress broke the 11 years marriage, and the duo separated on 1985's Valentine's Day, February 14th. Oof, that's rough. As divorce settlement, Stallone paid $12 million to Sasha, which was one of the record payouts in the 1980s. That's absolutely nothing, said James Cameron. Syvester calling his third marriage as a fantastic revival of his life, said, "As you know, my first marriage didn't go so well, though I have a relationship with my sons, but this marriage has been a second beginning. I used to think my career was number one, so I was gone 9 months out of the year. But I learned the hard way that the most important thing is that you start at home, and then comes the career." Absolutely. Couldn't put it better. On December 15th, 1985, he married Bridget Nielsen, who starred with him in his films Cobra and Rocky IV in Beverly Hills, California. The marriage lasted for nearly 2 years and ended in a highly publicized divorce. And if you ever see Bridget Nielsen, she can absolutely kick some ass too. Another franchise added to the list of Stallone's is The Expendables, 2010 American Assemble action film written by David Callahan and Syvester Stallone, and directed by Stallone, with 2 sequels, The Expendables 2 and The Expendables 3, in the year of 2012 and 2014. The franchise was a commercial success. Talk more about that in just a little bit. He has even made a cameo appearance in an Indian movie, Hindi, Kambakhat HQ. Ishka, I can't do it, man, I'm sorry. As himself in the year 2009. I had no idea. If you'll excuse me, I'm going to see if I can find it on YouTube. Well, surprise, surprise, I did find both scenes on YouTube. Now, there's 2 clips. As soon as you put the title in there, which I can't pronounce clearly, there's the one scene where he just fights a bunch of guys. It's awesome. One punch, it's like a Sonny Corleone, like in The Godfather, just completely misses, but you don't give a shit. I'm more concerned, how the hell did he get superhero strength where he can literally rip out a parking meter out of the ground? But I'm told Syvester Stallone can do that anyway, so that's just awesome. And then the next clip, he's at some award show. I find it funny, at the award show they had people that looked like Whoopi Goldberg, Jack Nicholson, Bono. I thought that was a nice touch. And I was gonna say, in the first clip, I have no idea what he says at the end there, so if someone can help me out, that'd be great. And then the second clip, I don't know what the song is. I don't know what the joke is there. But long story short, I'm pretty sure Syvester Stallone got an awesome paycheck for that. And that's always nice. Sly even reportedly turned down certain roles that made his fellow actors famous, including the role of John McClane in Die Hard, Bruce Willis, Superman, Christopher Reeve. For the role of Beverly Hills Cop, he was said to be the first choice instead of Eddie Murphy. Even in the Pretty Woman movie, he was asked to be the wealthy womanizer, but Richard Gere stepped in. I did not know Die Hard, Superman, Pretty Woman. I saw Pretty Woman about a year ago. I don't understand what the big deal is with that movie. But anyways, the Beverly Hills Cop role, the whole point from that, from what I understand, is the Cobra movie was supposed to be more the Beverly Hills Cop movie. So he wanted it to be more serious and whatever. And then, so like basically the Cobra movie is basically like his version of Beverly Hills Cop. And that's what ended up happening there. So there you go. It always works out for Sly. Don't worry, guys. He's going to be fine. Since the 1980s, Sly is a boxing promoter, and his company, Tiger Eye Productions, signed world champion boxers Sean O'Grady and Aaron Pryor. I even remember the show they had. It was almost like a competition show with the boxers there, whatever. And I think at the end, like the loser had to face like the winner or something like that. And I liked it. It was a pretty good show. It was almost like a Survivor with boxing. I don't know. A lot of people didn't like it. I liked it. I thought it was pretty cool the way they did it. So if you ever get a chance, check out that on YouTube. What can't you find on YouTube? Come on. Syvester has a flair for oil painting and has been creating paintings for more than 50 years. He considers Leonardo da Vinci as his personal hero. His first exhibition was held in Switzerland in 2011. His works are said to fetch Rocky-like prices, with just 2 pieces ranking up to nearly $100K. Well, first of all, I totally agree with him with Leonardo da Vinci. That guy's a fucking genius. I should do a podcast on him one day. That's one of the guys I wish, I could have met. Seems like an awesome dude. But yeah, why not? I mean, a lot of these guys, they do art. Jim Carrey does it. I'm told Gene Hackman does it. And yeah, why not? There's something relaxing about making art. You just take your time with it. I get it. Now, we all know Syvester Stallone. He did Creed. He even did Creed 2. And he won Best Supporting Actor for the Golden Globe for the part, and received a standing ovation as he took the podium for his acceptance speech. And of course, a few days later, he received an Academy Award nomination for the role, which means he earned 2 Oscar nods for the character of Rocky. Now, did he win for Creed? We're going to get into that in a little bit. But the point is, Mr. Rocky Balboa has been through a lot. And if you don't mind, I'd like to share every single role that he's done. Why? Because it's my podcast. I can do what I want. But it's important to find out how much Stallone has done. Now, the first role he ever did was a little thing called The Square Root in 1969. I've never seen this. Wow. Sorry guys, I'm just kind of in shock here. If you go on IMDb, which I always do, I don't go on Rotten Tomatoes because I actually want a real review of a movie. I can't even describe what this poster looks like. It almost looks like if you morphed Stallone and De Niro together with like Rambo hair, and I don't know. I'm just assuming this had to be photoshopped like years later. It says here, photographer Peter Christensen, University of Miami student, does a picture story at an LSD party on the beach. Well, it didn't get the best rating, but honestly, guys, it's worth just going on IMDb just to check out the movie poster. Trust me, you will not be sorry. I talked about this before. The party at Kitty and Studs. He played Stud. There you go. I've actually never seen the movie. I should check it out one day just for shits and gigs. Who knows? The sidelong glances of a pigeon kicker. He was a party guest. He was uncredited for that. Like I said before, Bananas, Subway Thug, number 1. He was uncredited. No Place to Hide. He played Jerry Savage as Sylvester E. Stallone. The Lords of Flatbush. Talked about that. The Prisoners of 2nd Avenue. I don't know that one. Capone. Talked about that one. Death Race 2000. If you ever have a chance to check out this movie, it is a little trippy. It's about racing. It's just, you got Dean Carradine in there. I should do a podcast about that guy one day. Farewell, My Lovely. I never saw that one. Police Story. That was a TV series. Kojak. We all know Kojak. He showed up in an episode there. Cannonball. He was in that. Another movie with David Carradine. I just assume it's the sequel to Death Race. Not sure. And then, of course, the magical year, one of the best years of Sylvester Stallone's life, 1976, Rocky. I mean, I could do a whole podcast about Rocky, guys. I don't have to tell you. I mean, it's a story about a guy who, he's a boxer. He's kind of down on his luck. He's just getting fights. He's just trying to survive. And In my opinion, this is one of the best sports movies. Period. Not just. I guess it's the best boxing movie. I mean, I don't know what comes close, but yeah, it's just an excellent movie. It really just. I remember in grade 8, my teacher said, like if you watch Rocky and if you think Rocky is about boxing, then you've missed the point completely. And he's right. You watch this movie, and I don't know how, and nobody can, get inspired by it. I mean, I got a poster of Rocky in my place, because I'm Italian, of course. And it's just very, inspiring, you know. He gets a chance to face the number one contender. I mean, would that ever happen today? I mean, probably not. You got to work your way up a little bit. But, sometimes it's like, just things happen, that are great in life. And, you see an opportunity, you got to take it. And, start off as a guy just, collecting for the mob, whatever. And then, he meets Adrian, and, it's very sweet, the way they meet. And, the whole ice rink scene I always like, very simple, but he did whatever he had to do to please her, and he's got, his buddy there, just always on his case, and but at the same time he knows it's a great opportunity for him. He takes him to the meat locker, Paulie, and I mean that's classic too, just him just literally like beating on the meat there. I mean that's crazy. So yeah, it's just a great movie, guys. It's definitely one of my favorite movies of all time. If you've not seen this movie, you have my permission to stop this podcast. Of course, come back to it later, and check out this movie. I mean, you'll be pleasantly surprised. Won lots of awards. I mean, it's one of my favorite movies of all time. Period. It's just a great movie. He was in a movie called Fist, Fist. I never saw that one. Paradise Alley. I think we talked about that before. Then he appeared in The Muppet Show. In the 70s, if you're anybody, you gotta appear on The Muppet Show. Okay, it's, I don't know, we don't really have a puppet show today, but I don't know. It was pretty popular, so, that's cool. Everyone loves The Muppets, And Rocky 2 came in 1979, so this is 3 years later after Rocky. Yeah, Faced Apollo Creed in the first one. Let's get a rematch going. And that's it, Is it as good as the first one? Obviously not. But it's still good. You got Rocky dealing with fame now. He's got a little money. He's... Again, I don't want to give a lot away. I mean, like I said, I love all the Rocky movies. If you like Rocky 1, you'll like Rocky 2. Nighthawks. Very good movie. Again, I do not want to give a lot away what happens in this movie, but this is I'm going to say one of his most underrated movies. It's not as big budgeted as, I don't know, whatever, Cliffhanger or whatever, but, this is a pretty good movie. Good cast of people. Check it out when you get a chance. Victory. Now, this is where Syvester Stallone becomes a soccer player, okay? And he's teamed up with Michael Caine and the greatest soccer player of all time, Pele. So, you like soccer, you like Sly, you'll love this movie. End of story. Rocky 3. Probably one of the better Rocky movies, for sure. Again, I don't want to give away what happens, I'm just saying, okay, spoiler alert, okay? You can turn it off, blah, 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 that's what people do. He faces Mr. T, okay? Now, at the time, Mr. T, nobody really knew who he was. As far as I know, he was the bodyguard for Spinks, and I think he had 2 bodyguards at the time. People were like, who the fuck's this guy with the mohawk, and he's got the feather earring, and then he kind of just built up a little reputation there, and then, Rocky saw him, aka Stallone, he saw him, and he's like, yeah, that's, there you go. That's how it happens, guys. I mean, like I said before, everything is timing. So, and Mr. T is excellent in this. Absolutely excellent. And it definitely made his career. I mean, after that, he was just, role after role. What's crazy is like Mr. T is like the nicest guy, but I mean, you look at him and you think he's like this tough motherfucker, and he is. Don't get me wrong, obviously, but he's just a cool guy. But he played the bad guy and is so good. It was perfect, And even Hulk is in this. Hulk Hogan. You could literally take that scene out of the movie and it doesn't affect the plot whatsoever. He's obsessed with meatballs. The point is, it's a great movie. It really is. I don't give too much away. I already gave away a little bit. But yeah, great movie. First Blood. So the first Rambo movie, hence the first one. All I wanted was something to eat. Then he's great in this. Just a guy coming back from the war and just wants to rebuild a new life, and but he can't get that mentality out of his head, and it's a whole thing with the cops and the scene at the end there where he's just like he goes nuts. It's just I thought that was great acting, man. I mean, a lot of people think it's bullshit, but I mean, it's tough doing something like that. I mean, God only knows how many times you had to do that scene, and it's pretty crazy. So great action in the movie, great acting. I loved it. Staying Alive, Man on Street. Really? He was in this? Okay. I did not know that. Yeah, why not? Okay, I believe you. Yeah, it says it's uncredited, but okay, sure. Mr. T was in Blues Brothers, the one chasing at the end where the cars going by. There's like two black guys. He's one of them. So yeah, if you pause it just right, I guess you'll see him. Rhinestone, like a rhinestone cowboy. This movie looks horrible. I like Dolly Parton, but yeah, 3.9 out of 10. Guys, it was the 80s. I mean, they just tried a bunch of stuff, okay. Rambo First Blood Part 2. Like I said, it's the second movie. The First Blood throws it off, whatever. A lot of people say, like, the funny part in the beginning there, he's in the jail there. He's like, oh, you want to get out? He's like, yeah, sure, why not? Okay, I'll do it again. And, he's at it again, there you go. So if you like the first one, you'll like the second one for sure. The first one, it's hard to top an original. You guys know what I'm saying. But I'm just saying, it's still good. Rocky IV comes out. Why stop at the trilogy? Keep going. This movie is basically a third just music montages. I mean, literally, it's almost a third of the movie. It just, it's desire, just whatever, just going nuts. And at the time, you got to keep in mind, America was fighting the USSR, and now it's Russia, and that was part of the whole thing there. I could change, you could change, you could all change. Great movie. I still love it. Like I said, I'm gonna watch Rocky to the day I die. I don't care. I love it. I love it. If he dies, he dies. I must break you. Cobra. Well, like I mentioned before, this is his version of Beverly Hills Cop. The beginning scene I love. The first 5-10 minutes, like what does he say? You're the disease and I'm the cure, The rest of the movie, I was told this movie was supposed to be more violent. It was supposed to be like a 3-hour movie or something. They edited it down because of, they wanted it to play more in theaters or something. So, this is the version we got. It's okay. I don't know. He's got the whole match thing in his mouth, and for some reason he's cutting up his pizza with scissors. I don't, all right, sure. Over the top. A lot of people thought this movie was over the top. I love this movie. It's basically a movie about arm wrestling. and I thought it was cool. Like he's a truck driver, and then in the movie he has his device where he can drive, but at the same time he can still work out his arm, and he's trying to bond with his kid there, and it's about arm wrestling, guys. It's got Frank from Scarface in it, Robert Loggia. Rest in peace. I liked it. I thought that was good. Sammy Hagar, winner, takes it all. He played the guy from. Okay, so it's a music video from the movie. Okay, cool. Rambo 3. It was okay. I mean, it had its moments, but I don't know. It was all right. Lockup, good movie. Good movie. Did I say good movie? Yeah. Donald Sutherland's in it. You got Tom Sizemore, John Amos. I thought it was a good movie. It's just about these guys trying to break out of jail. I liked it. Okay, didn't get the best rating, but me personally, I like it. And what's funny is that same year, Tango and Cash came out, and it's kind of similar. People always talk about this movie more than Lockup, obviously. Him and Kurt Russell. It was a good little buddy movie. I liked it. Then Rocky V comes out. Okay, so it's the 90s, it's right in the middle there. You had the whole 70s kind of serious, and then the 80s kind of cheese, and then you had like the 90s kind of breaking through there. You could tell the soundtrack is very 90s, and Syvester Stallone put his kid in there. He plays his actual kid in real life, and this movie did not get the best reviews. And this is how it ended for a while with Rocky. And I'm just gonna say this, okay? Is it the best Rocky movie? Absolutely not. But at the end of the movie, okay, when he's talking to the guy, oh no, the champ only fights in the ring, and he tells him, my ring's outside. I thought that was fucking awesome. I thought that was a great line. The main problem I find with this movie is that just the acting. It's just not, I don't know. It's just not that authentic. It's just, I don't know, I don't know. It's just not there, and let's be honest. You see Rocky, you want to see him fight in the ring. Okay, I know he lost his money and he couldn't fight anymore or whatever, but you still want to see Rocky in the ring. Like I saw what they were trying to do there. Okay, end it the way he started, fighting in the streets. I get that, but it's not how you end the Rocky franchise, so it is what it is. Oscar, this is where Stallone tries to do more comedies. Movie's okay, nothing, He was in an episode of Dream On, which I don't even remember. I remember the show. It was a good show on HBO, but I don't remember him in that. Stop, or My Mom Will Shoot. I mean, the title says it all, I guess. Yeah, apparently he was on Jimmy Fallon and he explained, at the time, him and Arnold Schwarzenegger, which, by the way, I mean, these guys were in heavy competition with each other, I mean, there's that one scene in Twins where he goes by the Rambo poster and Arnold, flexes his arm and, he just kind of puts his hand, like waving off Stallone, like that's not a muscle or whatever. So they were back and forth for a while, and apparently Stallone's agent told him, look, if you don't do it, then Arnold will do it. And it was back and forth for a while, whatever, fuck it, paycheck's a paycheck. Cliffhanger, awesome movie, awesome movie. I believe he did, I think, most or all of his stunts. It's just a movie about him trying to retrieve some money. He plays a mountain climber. The first 5-10 minutes is pretty, it's fucked up. I'm not gonna lie about that. I don't want to give away what happens, but kind of sets the tone for his character. And I'll say this before and I'll say it again. John Lithgow is a funny guy, but he plays a fucking awesome bad guy. And there's a lot of cool people in this movie. You got Michael Rooker, Janine Turner, Rex Lynn, Caroline Goodall, Leon. It's great action movie. Okay, if you like snow, and you like Sylvester Stallone, you'll like Cliffhanger. Demolition Man. Oh, one of my faves. At the time when this movie came out, a lot of people didn't like it. It's the 90s. They're trying to... It's a different time in the 90s. It was just all about the action films. They didn't give a fuck about plot. You just wanted to see, your boys kick ass, man, like Stallone and Arnold and Bruce and all these dudes. And, it was fucking awesome. And then, originally for this movie, I think they wanted Steven Seagal and Van Damme, and then neither one of them could decide who wanted to be the good guy, bad guy. I don't think either of them wanted to play the bad guy. So, idea was scrapped. And then with Stallone, he's like, cool, I'll do the good guy. And then he wanted Jackie Chan to be the bad guy. That didn't, he didn't want to play a bad. I don't know why these guys don't want to play bad guys. Bad guys is the fucking best roles. Come on. Then you got Snipes, which he fucking killed it in this movie. So Snipes is awesome. Everyone always forgets Snipes is a black belt, well trained. I mean, he did all the fight scenes himself. He wrote them all out, whatever. I should do a podcast on him one day. But yeah, I mean, this movie's awesome. It's basically, Sylvester Stallone is, caught with a crime, whatever, in the far distant future of 1996. And then, they unfreeze him because Snipes gets free there, and the whole world has gone PC. Nobody believes in violence. Everyone just stays inside all day because there's nothing else to do. Sound familiar? Anyways, but that's another thing too. I mean, there's a scene where Sandra Bullock's in there. I don't know, they wanted the woman who played Tank Girl before, the chemistry wasn't there, I guess, so they got Sandra Bullock in there. And there's a scene where she looks like she's holding like an iPad, and then you see all these other little futuristic things, and it was almost like a prediction for the future, a lot of people have made that, comparison, but I just love it because it's a great movie. You find out Arnold Schwarzenegger was president, which again, if they ever change that law in real life, he will absolutely become president. If Malaka Trump can do it, then so can Arnold. But yeah, this is a great movie. The chemistry between him and Snipes is awesome. Apparently there's a rumor that when Snipes, like in the movie, he has yellow hair. This is what inspired Dennis Rodman to color his hair after, So, awesome movie. I love it. Demolition Man, the video game, obviously. Let's make some money off this. One thing I forgot to mention is there's different versions. So, it's just funny in the movie, who won the franchise wars for food is Taco Bell. And if you get certain versions of it, like overseas, they'll replace it all with Pizza Hut for some reason. I don't know why. And Dennis Leary's in the movie. He's awesome. They had to rewrite things to, for his character. So again, you couldn't have picked a better role for that guy. Jesse Ventura's in it. Unfortunately, there was a scene where they had a fight scene between him and Sly. So I don't know, that got edited out. I don't know why. And I think Jack Black is in it for 2 seconds. True story. And The Specialist. This movie made a good amount of money. I thought it was okay. I don't know. It was all right. I mean, it had its moments. I didn't see the big deal in it. I got to be honest with you. I mean, at this moment, in time, this is where Stallone is starting to do a couple of clunkers. You know what I mean? I hate to say that, but yeah. Your Studio and You. Looks like a short. Sylvester Stallone, never heard of it. Judge Dredd. He played Judge Dredd. Yeah, I mean, not a very good movie. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the first 5-10 minutes, I like, court's adjourned. It's some good one-liners in there. I didn't break the law, I am the law. And I don't know, man. It is what it is. I don't know what to tell you. Assassins, meh, it was all right. I mean, again, had its moments, but, whatever. Daylight. Shit, I don't even remember this movie. Daylight. Viggo Mortensen's in this. Really? Okay. Disaster in New York tunnel has explosions, collapse both ends of it. One hero tries to help the people inside find their way to safety. Huh. I don't remember this movie. Shit, really? Okay. Copland. He gained a bunch of weight for this movie. Just to play like a cop that's, had a couple donuts. And kick-ass cast. I mean, a lot of people, this is like, a lot of people like this movie, a lot of people didn't. I thought it was okay. I thought it was all right. I mean, is his best one? No, but I mean, tons of great people in it. I mean, you got Harvey Keitel, Ray Liotta, De Niro. It was a good movie. It was all right. I mean, it was all right. Not a bad movie. Not his best either, but it was a good movie. Definitely had some good moments for sure. But I would check it out for sure. An Alan Smithy film, Hollywood Burn. I don't know. The Good Life. Well, he was definitely living a good life at this point. But no, there's a movie with him and Dennis Hopper. Never heard of it. 3 guys moved to New Jersey to Miami, and 2 of them end up killing the 3rd. Okay. Ants. Okay. So I believe this is the first time that Syvester Stallone has done any voiceover work. I've said it before and I'll say it again. It's like Chris Rock said. You go in there, you do the voices, you get paid $1 million. That's it. It's awesome. Yeah, I think this movie got decent reviews, I guess. I never saw it. I know ants work hard. Ants can't they lift 4 times their own weight or 10 or something like that? But yeah, whatever, good paycheck. Get Carter, like I said before, was the remake of the other one. This movie, I'm sorry, man, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. This movie was not good. I never saw the original one, but I mean, yeah, this was not a good movie. I'm sorry. Driven. This is Stallone taking up NASCAR racing, and yeah, this was not a good one either. I remember seeing this in theaters when me and my buddies were up north. I think I told this story. We were shit-faced. I remember I was drinking a Moosehead, and I thought the beer was in the cup holder, and I let it go, and all you hear in the theater is shh. My buddies look over like, you stupid fuck. Yeah, and I was like, it's better than the movie. But yeah, this was not a good one. Sorry, man. I See You. Never heard of this one either. What's weird is if you look at the movie poster, it's actually titled Detox. Okay, never saw it. Avenging Angelo. Never heard of this one either. Yeah, this is the point where Sly would do a lot of movies and you never heard of them. Liberty's Kids, ever since 1776, TV series. I'm assuming it looks like a cartoon, so it's a voiceover, I guess. Okay. What else we got? Taxi 3. I never saw Taxi 1 or 2, so I don't know, I can't help you there. Shade. I don't know. I don't know. It's got a lot of good people in this movie, but I've never heard of it. Yeah. It says Shade on the movie poster, but then it shows a spade. So does that I don't know. Spy Kids 3D, Game Over. I never saw that one. Las Vegas, the TV show. Good little show, by the way. He's in a couple episodes of that. And then Rocky Balboa comes. So Rocky 6. Okay. A At this point, he's in a wheelchair. No, I'm just kidding. But like even the opening credits, like every movie, it shows like the clips before, like the last movie. This one, like he didn't even want you to remember Rocky 5, so it just shows the opening thing. This is Rocky Balboa, and that's it. So the whole point of this movie is that he's pretty much retired. He's running a restaurant, and then they do a virtual simulation on TV, him fighting the recent guy there, or the recent champ, whatever, or what if, and then they're like, hey, what if this happens? And then that's how the movie goes. Now, I will say this about this movie. Now, I'm not a big fan of this movie either, but this movie has one of the most inspiring speeches in movie history. I will debate that with anybody, and this is by far the highlight of this movie. People that have seen this movie, people that are Rocky fans, they know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm not going to recreate it with the voice. I'm not that much of a dick. All I'm going to say is just go on YouTube if you've never seen it, Rocky Balboa speech. And I guarantee you it's the first thing that pops up. It has to. It has to. And it is just a beautiful speech that he gives to his son. It is just awesome. Like, I mean, I'm not even going to lie to you guys. There's times I just play that one clip and I feel inspired by it. I really do. Like, it is just excellent, that speech. Like I said, it's by far the highlight of the movie. The movie itself, it's okay. I mean, it's, is it better than Rocky 5? Absolutely. But, they wrap it up in a nice way, and, but is that the end of Rocky? Boxing bloopers. Video short, Rocky Balboa, he's uncredited there. Vanity Fair, Killers Kill, Dead Men Die. Video short, he played the trainer, okay. And Rambo comes back, a.k.a. Rambo number 4, plays John Rambo. This, I'll just say this, it's one of those movies where all the action happens at the end. I mean, the last half hour, it's basically like Mortal Kombat. I mean, shit is just flying everywhere. There's not much of a story. These guys get kidnapped. He's got to come back and help them. But that's it. But I mean, that last 20, 30 minutes is fucking crazy. So it's just worth just seeing it just for that. Incredible Love. He played himself. We just talked about that. I forgot. Yeah. So check out those clips. I always wonder how much they get paid for something like that. I mean, I always heard Arnold Schwarzenegger did a commercial for overseas for $5 million or something. And it's if you ever got a chance to see that commercial, that's a fucking trip. Then 2010 rolls around. I live in a busy intersection, guys. The Expendables. Okay. I love these movies. Basically, I don't know why they didn't think of this idea sooner. Okay. Yeah. Again, you got all these guys in Hollywood, egos, maybe conflict, the money, blah, 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 whatever. Everybody wants to be their own hero in a movie. But you know what? He got them all together. He got all the dudes together, and it is awesome. It's awesome. I'm going to watch this movie to the day I die, too. I don't care. Just him, he assembles a huge action team of, superheroes from back in the day. We got great people in this movie, fantastic people. We got Syvester Stallone. We got Jason Statham. We got Jet Li, Dolph Lundgren, Eric Roberts, Randy Couture, Steve Austin. Terry Crews. We got Mickey Rourke. The list goes on, guys. It is fucking awesome. It's awesome. And it's great to see all these dudes kick ass in one film. And of course, there's the classic scene in there with him, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Bruce Willis. It was just a tease. It was just we didn't see either of those two guys kick ass, but he still was. He was to be president. We all know that. But will they show up in the second one? Okay. Bullet to the head. It's okay. Nothing special, not too bad. It's a decent little movie. Escape Plan. Okay. Now, I probably talked about this before with the Arnold Schwarzenegger podcast I did. Check that one out. That's a classic. This movie, was made in 2013. It should have been made in 1993. But, hey, things happen, whatever, This movie is excellent. We see Arnold Schwarzenegger and Syvester Stallone team up together. It's awesome. Okay? It's about Syvester Stallone. He gets, works for people that, figure out like security systems and all that. Then he gets tricked, whatever. He has to go to jail. He meets Arnold Schwarzenegger, and then they have to escape, whatever. Hence, escape plan. But this is an excellent movie. If you're a fan of both those guys, you will highly enjoy this movie. Absolutely. It's just a shame it got made years later. I think it only made back like half its budget or whatever, but I mean, it's definitely worth seeing today. Absolutely. He showed up on Saturday Night Live, the Three Wise Guys. I remember this one. They're just making fun of the Three Wise Men. It was him, Goodman, and De Niro, Hey, a camel toe. Oh! Grudge match. Okay, now this is almost a weird, like warped universe movie for Rocky. I mean, so basically the whole point is it's another boxing movie. It's got nothing to do with Rocky. It's him and, De Niro back in the day. I think they each won one match against each other, and the next one was kind of a draw or whatever. Then they want to do it again years later. So, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, this movie's all right. I mean, it's just weird. Like, you got all these Rocky movies, and then you got this movie in there. So it's like, all right, well, why not? Also, I forgot to mention in the mid '90s when they made Pulp Fiction, I think there were talks at one point that they wanted Syvester Stallone to play the boxer in Pulp Fiction, but he didn't want to. I don't think he wanted to play a boxer again. But then, yeah. Oh shit, guys, sorry. I skipped over a few movies. I'm tired. Anyways, I forgot Zookeeper. He did the voice of Joe the Lion with Kevin James there. Forgot to mention Expendables 2. Now, out of the three, I think Expendables 2 is by far the best one. You get to see Arnold and Bruce kick ass. If you like Expendables 1, you will absolutely love Expendables 2. It's awesome. It's just, I'll watch these guys kick ass, with a cane. I don't give a fuck. They're fucking awesome movies. I grew up with actual action in movies in the 90s. None of this green screen shit. Okay? Sometimes it works. Most of the times it doesn't. Okay? I don't want to watch Fast and the Furious. I want to see Expendables. Damn it. Okay, where am I here? Bullet to the Head did, Escape Plan did, Saturday Night Live, yep, Grudge Match, yeah, the Warped Universe boxing there. Expendables 3. Okay, Expendables 3, love it. Still love it. Snipes is in there. What more do you want? I mean, come on. All these movies kick ass in their own right. Oh, by the way, I forgot to say, Expendables 2, I mentioned this in my movie podcast. I went to go see it with my dad. It was weird. They had these like weird row of seats in the back theater, and they were like, it was almost like you go to was it Wonderland there, and you see or you go to the ride Days of Thunder, and the seats move up and down and whatever. And they had those weird seats, and it was pretty cool. You put the thing up all the way, like the plane goes up, and then the action, the shit will shake. It's pretty cool. Definitely worth the extra couple bucks. And okay. Chuck Norris is in this one. He's in it for a little bit, but he is in this. The Chuckster is in Expendables 2. And I'll just say this. When he showed up on screen, everybody went nuts. Everybody started clapping. Because everyone loves Chuck Norris. Thank you, Chuck Norris. Thank you, Peter. Reach Me. I never heard of this movie. He doesn't. I don't think he's even in the movie poster. Okay. Creed. Okay. So Rocky Balboa has basically done everything he can. Okay, he's punched stakes. He's kicked ass a bunch of times. Yeah, he's fighting guys that are twice the size of him. You know, he's avenging Apollo Creed. You know, he's done everything, everything. So what's next? You got to pass the torch to the next person. So you got Michael B. Jordan playing Apollo Creed's kid. You know, and of course, Rocky mentors him. And I'll be honest with you, when this movie first came out, I thought to myself, you know what? Either this movie's going to be really good or it's going to be really bad. I mean, either people are going to accept this or not. And I got to be honest with you, this is an excellent movie. This is my favorite movie in the Rocky franchise next to the first Rocky. And I'll stand by that. It is an excellent movie. Excellent. And I'm just going to say this. I forgot if I mentioned this in my one podcast about awards, but he absolutely got robbed for Best Supporting Actor. Does anybody remember who won Best Supporting Actor that year? Exactly. It was some guy. No offense to that guy. I'm sure he was good in them. I actually, you know what? I'm not going to lie. I tried to watch that movie. I couldn't even get through it. But he got robbed. And again, I don't know, maybe... You know, I'm just saying, you know, this is the same year I think Leonardo DiCaprio won Best Actor, and you know the Oscars were getting shit because they weren't like, you know, they feel the Oscars are racist because they weren't nominating enough black people, and yeah, it probably would have looked really bad giving two Italians awards, and you know, yeah. So, but at the same time, man, he was just excellent in this. Excellent. You know, Michael B. Jordan was great in it too. You know, like I said, I'll watch all the Rocky movies again and again. I hope they keep making more Creed movies. It was just excellent. If you're a fan of Rocky, you will absolutely love Creed. Ratchet and Clank. Never saw that one. Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, he made a little brief appearance in that one. Animal Crackers. Yeah, apparently this was they made a movie out of a cookie, I guess. Okay. This Is Us. He actually showed. Actually, you know what? That's funny because yeah, the guy who played his kid in Rocky Balboa. Yeah, maybe he maybe convinced him to go in there. So okay. Escape Plan 2. I tried to watch this. I couldn't get through it. I'm sorry. Yeah. Creed 2. Once again, if you like Creed 1, you'll like Creed 2. Obviously, it's not as good as the first Creed. You know, I think the first Creed is a classic. Creed 2, it's still good. Like I said, like if you love the Rocky movies, you'll just love what they did here. And I thought it was pretty good. So, check it out. Backtrace. I never heard of this one. Yeah. Once again, I've said this before and I'll say it again. You can always tell it's not a good movie just by looking at the movie poster. If everything's like just pasted together, it just, yeah. He did a voiceover as John Rambo in Mortal Kombat 11. Now, again, I haven't really followed Mortal Kombat since like, I don't know, Mortal Kombat 3, 4, or whatever. But I mean, this franchise just keeps killing it, literally. I think the movie's coming out in January, whatever, of 2021. I mean, with things going on now, how the fuck is it going to be released? But who knows? But yeah, they just keep adding like all these famous characters like RoboCop, and yeah, why not John Rambo? There you go. They made another Escape Plan, The Extractors. I did not watch that. I don't know what to tell you. Rambo: Last Blood. Okay, so. Me and my dad were a little disappointed. Our whole plan for like 2 days there up north, we wanted to go see, Joker and Rambo: Last Blood. And Dad, if you're listening, we saved a couple bucks. This was not very good. I'm not gonna lie, not much of a plot. I will say this though, the last 15, 20 minutes, it's the same thing like the last. Like the last Rambo, everything just, you know, basically, if you like a violent version of Home Alone where he sets all the traps and shit, you will absolutely love the last 15-20 minutes of this movie. It's, yeah. So, yeah. And I'm pretty sure that's all the Rambos they're going to do. Yeah, but then again, you know, you never know. Yeah, he's got some movies coming. He's got one movie coming out in 2021 called Samaritan. It's filming as we speak. Like I said before, with everything going on nowadays, we don't know when the fuck it's going to come out or how it's going to come out. A young boy learns that a superhero who was taught to have gone missing after an epic battle 20 years ago may in fact still be around. Okay, so he might be playing a superhero. Okay, that'd be cool. Yeah, why not? Little America, pre-production. There's no date on this one. Dystopian future where China owns America. That's a far future. A former American Force Recon member is hired by a Chinese billionaire to go to an American ghetto and finds his daughter. All right. Sounds like a revenge plot to me. I'm there, man. I don't care. And yes, The Expendables 4. Okay. Now, also one thing I forgot to mention is that, you know, they get good bad guys in this too. I think, what was it, Mel Gibson was the third one there. I know Mel Gibson. I get it. He's got a past. I get it. What are you going to do? Expendables 2. It was a Van Damme they got. And then the one they got, was it Steve Austin there and Eric Roberts. They've been trying to get Steven Seagal to play, like, just to be in these movies forever. He won't do it. I have no fucking idea why. I don't know, he's too busy eating carrots or something. But it says here the plot is unknown. Well, I have an idea what's going to happen. I have an idea that they're all going to get together and kick some serious ass. So, like I said, I keep making Expendables 10. I don't give a fuck, you know? Just keep making those movies, and me and Dad are going to be in those shaky seats, and we're just going to keep watching it. And I just want to say this, you know, like I said before, I'd like to be serious for a moment if I can. I'm half Italian. You know, you get a lot of cool role models growing up. I mean, I love guys like Pacino, De Niro, Brando, you know, but Stallone, man, I mean, you know, that guy's a tough motherfucker, man. Like even reading these facts, I mean, like I didn't know about his past as a kid, and you know, man, for him to pull through that and, you know, write his own script, and not only that, like, just, you know, say, look, I want to be the lead role. Like, he did not want to give that up. Like, the other shit he didn't give a shit about, you know, like, I know he got his dog back and whatever, but, you know, he was so determined, like, he just knew, like, he was, you know, meant for this role, and he knew he's the only one that could do it, you know, and I'm sure people have done this in the past, you know, write their own script and, you know, be the person in it or be part of it, whatever. But like he really, he was a big part of starting that trend. You know, like how many people have done that since then? You know, and you know, he's just. I'm very proud, you know, of him, and he's just a big Italian icon. You know, where I come from, and you know, he's just awesome. Like he really is, man. And you know, Mr. Stallone, I just want to give you props and, you know, thank you very much for all the years of entertainment. I mean, me and my dad have bonded many times, you know, over your movies, and we will continue to do so. Okay? Like I said, Expendables 10, retirement home, whatever you want to do, I don't give a shit. Okay? We are there. Okay? So, thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. Adrian! What a Malaka. But in all seriousness, thank you very much, Mr. Syvester Stallone.